car now. Come here. Let me just... You want me to take them off now? No, I will.
It's been a hot summer, but hotter than normal.
Was John Carr charged in Joan Benet's death, and the Jason Sharp murder trial is over.
31 News Tonight is 1 minute away.
Well, we were recently married, and because we share a car...
It was my grandfather's car.
We get up at 4:30. We swing by Crystal's for our drive-through breakfast, and once I drop Carl off at work...
I usually eat at work.
I take my sack of scramblers to my coworkers. We all sit out in front of the store and eat them before we start our day. My coworkers love me because I bring the scramblers in. That's our Crystal story. What's yours?
When I needed cash, I didn't want to sell my car, so I took my car title to Title Max.
Call 1-88-TITLE-MAX.
Cuando banco son, Title Max es check. Title Max request no credit check.
Call 1-88-TITLE-MAX.
Title Max just gave my car title, and I saved 50%. I got my title back with Title Max.
Tengo mi título de regreso con Title Max.
I got my title back with Title Max.
Get the title back with Title Max.
Coverage you can count on. This is WAAY 31 News Tonight.
It's hot out there, no doubt about that, but has it been hotter this summer than normal summers? The answer coming up.
And an update on the story of a homeless man being beat. His attackers entered pleas today. Did they claim guilt or innocence?
Whatsoever. I still don't have my baby.
Those are the words of a grieving father after his daughter's killer is convicted. We'll have the latest on the Jason Sharp trial straight ahead in a live report. Good evening. I'm Sharon Jovius.
And I'm Cliff Hill. Thank you for joining us for WAAY 31 News Tonight.
Your top story tonight. It took over 7 years, but the family of Tracy Lynn Morris now has justice.
Well, it took jurors only 90 minutes to come back with a guilty verdict of rape and first-degree murder. WAAY 31's Justin McFarland joins me live at the Madison County Courthouse with more details. Justin?
Good evening, Cliff, and thanks. Every day is an emotional one here at the Madison County Courthouse. But today's flow of emotion was 7 years in the making.
7 years, 8 months. Do the math.
Ralph Morris and his family have waited a long time for justice. Over 7.5 years ago, his daughter Tracy Morris was raped and stabbed 36 times with a screwdriver by then 22-year-old Jason Sharp. Today, a 29-year-old Sharp just stared into a table as a jury of 8 men and 6 women found him guilty.
Justice has finally been served, and it's just a really good feeling.
But as good as the feeling may be, the nightmare for this father will never end.
There is no closure. No closure whatsoever. I still don't have my baby.
Next in this case is whether or not Sharp will face the death penalty. Morris is clear on where he stands.
I don't have a daughter anymore. Why should they have a son?
Now, tomorrow morning, the same jury that convicted him will hear arguments and give a final recommendation on whether or not Jason Sharp will live or die. Reporting live at the Madison County Courthouse, I'm Justin McFarland, WAAY 31 News.
All right, Justin, thank you.
WAAY 31 legal analyst Mark McDaniel says the most important part of the trial begins tomorrow with that penalty phase. Real-life drama will unfold as the victim's family pushes for Jason Sharp's execution, while Sharp's family will beg the jury to save his life.
I always tell law students, and I always tell young lawyers that have never done a capital case, the most important part of a capital case is the penalty phase. That's where this jury is going to be called upon tomorrow to recommend life or death. And that's going to be, to me, in a capital case, the most important part of the entire trial.
Wrapping up today's top story, in Huntsville, a guilty verdict in the capital murder trial of Jason Sharp. Was found guilty of raping and murdering 32-year-old Tracy Morris. Verdict comes after a 7-year delay in the court system. Penalty phase begins tomorrow, where the jury will recommend life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty itself. The judge may support or reverse the jury's recommendation.
A new twist in the mysterious JonBenet Ramsey killing. Denver TV station KUSA is reporting that John Mark Carr's DNA does not match the DNA found at the scene of Ramsey's murder. Legal experts say it could still be possible to build a strong case against the 41-year-old accused murderer. Carr, the key suspect in that murder, was in court this afternoon at 5:30. And the results of the hearing and more on this mysterious case and today's developments coming up in depth a little later in the newscast.
New details tonight in the case of 6 teens beating Craig Rubert, a homeless man. 5 teens who are being charged as juveniles pled guilty today. James Whitehead, the oldest of the group, at 16, pled not guilty. Rubert suffered a collapsed lung, broken ribs, and a head injury from the beating. He was treated and released from Crestwood Hospital.
Police and the FBI need your help catching a bank robber. Take a close look at these surveillance photos. They were taken at the Alabama Credit Union on Whitesburg Drive at 11:15 this morning. Investigators say the man who walked into the bank was waving a large, dark handgun. He demanded the clerk give him money and then got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. If you've got any information on this bank robbery, call the FBI.
University of North Alabama police officer faces charges after a standoff at his home. Police say 54-year-old Thomas McFarland and his girlfriend were at home last night when McFarland became intoxicated and loaded his pistol. His girlfriend got scared, so she ran upstairs, locked herself in a room, and called police. She eventually escaped. When McFarland called her cell phone, she handed it over to officers.
And he told Chief Glasgow at that time that he was going to resign. He was coming in today to resign, that him and his girlfriend had broke up, and he was going back where he come from, and he said he needed help.
McFarland surrendered to police. He's free on bond this evening.
More charges are filed against the man accused of running over a Decatur police officer. John David Teague is charged with 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a forged instrument and 1 count of unlawful breaking and entering of a vehicle. Police say Teague ran over Officer Marty McGathrin outside the Bud store on Spring Avenue in Decatur on Friday. McGathrin is recovering at home. Teague, meanwhile, is in the Morgan County Jail. A Valley woman is one of 49 who died in a plane crash in Kentucky yesterday. Rebecca Adams worked for the Huntsville-based Intergraph Corporation. In an email to employees, CEO Halsey Wise said Intergraph's flag has been lowered to half staff to honor Adams. Wise says Adams was on her way back from California, where she was helping a customer implement the company's public safety software.
Another Huntsville-based contractor has been killed in Iraq. Contractor working for the U.S. Army Engineering and Support Center died today when the vehicle he was riding in was hit by an improvised explosive device, an IED. He's the 31st contractor from the center to die in Iraq since 2003. Tropical storm Ernesto has forced NASA to scrub tomorrow's launch of Shuttle Atlantis. And unless the storm changes course, crews will begin moving Atlantis into its shelter in the morning. Ernesto is expected to pass the Kennedy Space Center as a hurricane. Atlantis' launch will be delayed at least 8 days. Crew's mission is to install a set of solar panels on the International Space Station.
If you think it's been warmer than usual this summer, you are right. Now, it doesn't break the record, but according to a study from WAAY, the months of June, July, and August in North Alabama averaged the warmest in over 50 years. The average temperature for those 3 months this year was 92 degrees. Historically, the average is 89 degrees for the same month. And along with the hot weather, there's been lower humidity, which leads to less rain.
Well, it turns out even though we're about 3 degrees hotter than normal, the humidity has not been quite as high as we've seen it in the last few summers because there hasn't been as much rain. And people will probably notice how dry corn and cotton and even trees are this year.
Dr. Christie says the long-term forecast calls for a warmer winter and less rain and snow.
As the weather gets a little cooler now, one thing comes to mind: football. We're getting ready for the premiere of WAAY 31's Friday Night Football on September the 1st. It's the one show in the Tennessee Valley named Best Sports Program by the Associated Press in 2005. Sports Director T.W. Starr leads the charge with all the scores, all the highlights, and all the fun. And don't forget to call in your scores. That is so important.
We can't wait.
New details in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case.
John Carr will not be charged in her murder. The latest information on the investigation of this 10-year-old crime that has recaptured the nation's attention.
And in your D block, the lighter side of news, there are plenty of stories of people overcoming problems in their life. And a little kitten is doing the same thing.
Goodness.
Look at that.
What?
But he's doing it with style. Brad?
walking on my feet towards you tonight and watching the local Doppler radar. Let me show you that first and show you right now where we're seeing the lines of scattered showers and some thunderstorms from Florence to Muscle Shoals down to Moulton. If you live in Rogersville, you'll be seeing this line of showers nearby about 11:43. Hartselle 11:04, Athens about 11:22, Huntsville about midnight. Rumbling line of showers and some thunder showers. In the morning, 73 degrees, some lingering sprinkles, 82 by noon, 85 tomorrow. More storms, more beneficial rains. We need it. What's next? And what about Ernesto? Answers are 2 minutes away.
You're watching Cliff Hill and Sharon Dovia. WAAY 31 News tonight is coverage you can count on.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Jerry Damson Auto Group.
Drop everything. Toyota's nationwide clearance event is on now. Check out the roomy Tundra Double Cab. And it's a great time to buy the unstoppable Tundra. Save big on the Toyota Tundra. Right now, get 0% financing for 60 months on all new 2006 Tundra models. Or get $4,000 cash back, plus the XSP Sport Package discount for a total savings of $6,000 on the Tundra Double Cab. The clock's ticking. Catch the Toyota Time nationwide clearance event today. Toyota, moving forward.
At Pearl River Resort, we believe that the fellow who said you can have too much of a good thing probably wasn't having that much fun to begin with. Pearl River Resort, Choctaw, Mississippi.
Lincoln Mercury has some of America's hottest selling new models. And just announced, every 2006 Mercury comes with 0% APR for 72 months during the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance, including Mercury Milan. That's 6 years of interest-free driving on every 2006 Mercury car, SUV, and minivan. Plus, now get extended powertrain coverage for 5 years or 60,000 miles on all Mercury vehicles.
Jerry Springer. He may be the king of talk. Everything hurts. My hair hurts. But when it comes to his dancing, I don't have a prayer. Words can't describe it. Dancing with the Stars live 2-hour premiere Tuesday, September 12th at 8/7 Central, only on ABC.
For discounts up to 40% on auto insurance, see James Harris in Huntsville.
Now, Storm Force 31 Chief Meteorologist Brad Huffon with your simple and accurate forecast.
As we're watching clouds move across the valley, some of these clouds are carrying scattered showers and some thunderstorms now across parts of northwest Alabama. And some of these downpours that are in this mass of clouds are locally heavy, with some thunder and lightning also developing in this line of thunder showers. Showed you this line at 6 o'clock this evening. It was in West Mississippi. It continues to hold together and will move across most of the Tennessee Valley in the next 3 hours, all the way through Huntsville and the mountains of northeast Alabama before it moves on out. Scattered showers also in Middle Tennessee, parts of southern Middle Tennessee. I'll track these storms for you on Storm Force 31 live Doppler radar, and I want to show you where these storms are going and when. As you look at this line of thunder showers moving to the east, northeast at about 25 miles an hour, you'll see it near Anderson at about 10:36. If you live in Hartselle, you'll start to hear the pitter-pat of rain showers just before 11 o'clock. Decatur about the same time. Athens about 10 to 15 minutes after 11 o'clock tonight. Ardmore about 11:36. Huntsville, the Midtown at least, about 12:02. Harvest 11:45. So moving into western Madison County about 11:30, and it will continue to move on through with some rain showers and some thunder and lightning mixed in. So don't be surprised also to hear a couple of rumbles of thunder as this area of thunder showers moves on through. Looking at Doppler radar locally, you see this line of showers moving west to east through the area. Lightning is picking up in some of these thunder showers, eastern parts of Lauderdale and Colbert counties. And behind this, some very muggy air will remain. Morning low temperatures starting off in the low 70s. Afternoon highs will climb all the way up into the mid-80s. Then there's that swath of rain that comes through tomorrow just ahead of and along a cool front that keeps us in the 80s for the next several days. Meanwhile, a quick stop in South Florida. All the advisories, hurricane watches, tropical storm warnings because of this. This is Tropical Storm Ernesto as it continues to now move over parts of western Cuba. The center of the storm moving back over open water. Winds are still right around 40, a minimal tropical storm, but it is expected to continue to intensify. And here's the forecast. The National Hurricane Center forecast is this one here, calling for it to be a tropical storm when it moves inland in South Florida sometime between tomorrow evening and Wednesday morning. Then as the storm continues up north, There are two models you're seeing on the computer now. This is the National Hurricane Center. This is the forecast track by a company out of Asheville, North Carolina called Barron Advanced Meteorological Systems, also based in Huntsville. And that forecast track, which has been a fairly accurate track as well, calls for this storm not just on the east coast of Florida, like the Hurricane Center's track, but on the west coast of Florida. Now, the heaviest winds, heaviest rains are just to the right of the eye of the hurricane. This means that if the Hurricane Center track continues to prove to be right, we'll see the winds offshore. If this one continues to be right, we'll see some very heavy winds and rains all along the entire west coast of Florida, moving inland as what could be a weak hurricane in northwest Florida, then turning into a tropical storm or a low pressure area that will shove some showers as far west, I should say, as North Alabama into Thursday. Some gusty winds with some of those rain showers possible Thursday. Then for Friday, the storm continues to move up north. We may still see a few lingering showers. Again, if that storm system path is correct, watching it carefully for you. Outside now where it's rained, 70s and low 80s. Where it hasn't yet, still mid-80s. So behind the rain showers, a slight cool down and 80s for the next several days. 7-day forecast at the end of this program, guys.
Thank you, Brad. It's a case that started in Colorado and has led police to Thailand and right here in North Alabama.
And according to a Denver television station tonight, it may be over, but now that Carr is not being charged with the death of JonBenet Ramsey, what's next?
Find out the latest in this bizarre investigation next. I'm Sharon Dilviet. Thanks for watching WAAY 31 News tonight.
For discounts up to 40% on auto insurance, see Terry Owens in Decatur.
What do all three of these have in common? They have the advantage, the lowest price, America's best warranty, and the Bentley reputation, because that's what brings you back. The Bentley Hyundai Advantage. Whether it's the Hyundai Elantra at $10,980, the Sonata at $13,980, or the Tucson at $15,980, all nicely equipped. Nobody beats a Bentley deal. Nobody. Hyundai makes the car. Bentley Hyundai makes the difference. On University Drive, east of Jordan Lane, Huntsville.
What do we know about Lucy Baxley?
She said on television that she supported John Kerry because he's liberal.
Liberal.
She's a big supporter of Hillary Clinton. Called her an inspiration.
An inspiration?
An inspiration?
I'm a Democrat. Even I couldn't support John Kerry or Hillary Clinton.
Now Lucy Baxley is attacking Bob Riley.
Attacking his conservative agenda. That delivers tax cuts.
Tax cuts
and historic education funding.
Lucy Baxley. She's just too liberal. Too liberal? Too liberal.
Too liberal for Alabama.
We told them exactly what we were looking for and what our price range was. And the very first car they showed us was the car that we wanted. It was very low pressure. When we told them our price range, they stuck to it. They didn't try to add anything extra on. It was just a very pleasurable buying experience.
We'll save you money and take better care of you than anyone else. Jimmy Smith Pontiac Buick GMC, just minutes from Madison on Highway 72 in Athens.
We'll be back on oven-roasted chicken.
Oh, please water the plants on Italian BMT.
Take the trash out on tuna.
And Pookie gets her bath on roast beef. Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
Now every day is Subway. Subway restaurants. With the $3.99 daily meal, you can get a different regular 6-inch fresh value meal for only $3.99 every day.
I'll give you another 50 if Pookie disappears sometime before turkey breast.
Subway. Eat fresh.
The largest furniture store in the Tennessee Valley is hosting a huge pre-Labor Day sale. Now through Labor Day at Story & Lee Furniture, save 30, 40, 50, up to 70% off fabulous furniture brands like Thomasville, Broyhill, Lane, Natuzzi Italian Leather, Jameson Bedding. Hundreds of pieces on sale now through Labor Day. Decorate your home with the furniture of your dreams. Tremendous selection, incredible savings, free delivery. Story & Lee, Highway 43, Leoma, Tennessee. Open Labor Day.
The DNA does not match. The man arrested in Thailand, suspected of murdering 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey, will not be charged in the case. Christopher Kind is in Boulder, Colorado with details.
The Boulder County District Attorney has decided not to pursue murder charges against John Mark Carr, saying his DNA did not match blood found in the underwear of JonBenet Ramsey. The DA also cited, quote, strong circumstantial evidence he was with his family in Georgia at the time of the crime in Boulder, Colorado. First word that the 41-year-old teacher would not be prosecuted in the death of the child beauty queen came from his court-appointed public defender.
The warrant on Mr. Carr has been dropped by the district attorney. They're not proceeding with this case. We're deeply distressed by the fact that they took this man and dragged him here from Bangkok, Thailand, with no forensic evidence confirming the allegations against him and no independent factors leading to a presumption that he did anything wrong.
But Carr will remain behind bars in Boulder until his likely return to California to face child pornography charges from 5 years ago.
We have received a teletype from California confirming that they are willing to extradite him on the charges they have there. And so he will be returned to the jail. He'll be held in our custody until California can make arrangements for the extradition.
And that extradition hearing could come as early as tomorrow. In Boulder, Colorado, I'm Christopher King.
Coming up next on your D block, that block of news we reserve for the wacky and weird. Tonight, a race where your swimming partner is an inflatable doll. Wow. And instead of fantasy football, we know where you can go and bet on a fantasy husband. I'm Cliff Hill. Thanks for watching WAAY 31 News tonight.
The summer's almost over, but the Pontiac Final Summer Bonus is just getting started. For 6 short days, we'll kick in up to $1,000 extra bonus cash. Our great summer deals just got better. Buy it or lease it, but get it before it's gone. Sale ends September 5th.
Ready for more?
More movies!
The Digital One-Star Pack from Mediacom gives you up to 135 channels, plus a great selection of hit movies.
I rule at Xbox Live.
All thanks to Mediacom Online, with download speeds up to 5 megabits per second. Nothing compares to high-speed internet from Mediacom. Get the Mediacom combo deal and save hundreds of dollars when you get both services for just $29.95 a month each for 6 months.
Call 1-800-KTV.
Jalapeno thick burger, fries, and a soda. And another soda. And maybe one more soda. The Jalapeno Thick Burger. New at Hardee's.
The new 7-passenger GL. We gave it more space. We gave it more handling and performance. We gave it more safety and strength. We think it's finally ready. It's more Mercedes to love. Visit your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer today, starting at $55,675.
An unusual race where the participants use inflatable dolls. Cliff has more in the D block.
Yes, only in the D block, Sharon, for this story. Vladimir Zakov claimed an unusual title on Saturday when he was declared the winner of the Bubble Baba Challenge 2006. He took the top prize after finishing first in a mass swim on the Volga River in Russia. His partner in his success was not the normal swimming companion. It was an inflatable doll. More than 200 people with inflatable dolls swam in the rapid-moving river near the Finnish border on Saturday as part of the 4th Bubble Baba Challenge. No word on why so many people have inflatable dolls to go swimming with to begin with. Brad De La Cruz of Marina del Rey reeled in this 11-foot Mako shark Saturday night. Now, they spent much of the evening dragging this huge fish back to the port, and it was officially weighed Sunday morning. The 819.8-pound shark was filleted, and the fine eating meat was donated to charity. Haven't had a shark before, so I'm not sure about that. Shark was caught during a fishing contest for a reported $1 million jackpot prize. It's draft time for all those fantasy football players, but a Tallahassee woman has come up with a fantasy draft of her own. A fantasy husband draft. It's called the Fantasy Husband League. You pick 20 hunky husbands and women place bets on how they'll tackle a host of relationship quandaries. Licensed marriage counselors grade the men's responses, but it's the women who score points or lose them when they bet on the wrong bow. Women point out even the best fantasy husbands fumble once in a while. Here's something you don't see every day. Meet Lola. Go, Lola, go. She purrs, she cuddles, she does everything a normal cat can do, and she walks on her front feet. well, her back legs are deformed, but she's learned to adapt. She's overcome her deformity by becoming a kitty acrobat. It really proves that anyone or anything, even with 4 legs and 2 of them not working too well, can overcome just about anything. Isn't that something?
Wow. And Lola's a little more normal than some of the other people in some of your stories tonight.
Especially tonight.
Tonight. Thanks, Cliff. Tickets are almost gone for all of Alabama's home games this season, and Huntsville has a new 4A high school football team. Sports Director P.W. Starr joins us next with Sports on WAAY.
Hi, everybody. Herb Wenches here, bringing you all the exciting action here at Honey Mitsubishi. It sounds like a lot of commotion down on the lot. Let's take it there right now. Jason, what's up?
Thanks, Herb. Coach Tony just got a big cheer from the crowd. He sent the new Mitsubishi Galant in the game at only $18,126, but the star of the game might be the 06 Endeavor LS, priced at only $23,203.
Sounds like Honey Mitsubishi is just too deep, too talented for the competition. We'll see you the next time on Mitsubishi TV.
When I needed cash, I didn't want to sell my car, so I took my car title, Title Max.
Call 1-88 Max.
When the bank is no, Title Max is yes. Title Max request no credit check.
Call 1-88 Max.
Title Max just gave my car title and I saved 50%.
I got my title back with Title Max.
Tengo mi título de regreso con Title Max.
I got my title back with Title Max.
Get the title back with Title Max.
In Alabama, there's family time, and then there's family time well spent. Moments that turn into memories instead of afterthoughts. Conversations that are more meaningful than deciding what movie to rent. Discover hunting in Alabama. Chances are you'll get in touch with a lot more than just nature. To get started, visit OutdoorAlabama.com. Outdoor Alabama. Share the wonder.
Hello, I'm Blair Thornton, and for a short time longer, you pay the same price as Chrysler employees.
Hold up, Blair. Here's an automotive news flash. Thornton Chrysler Dodge Jeep will beat any verified deal, guaranteed. Now, back to the commercial.
No clerical fee and no dock fee. That's something we've never had and never will. You'll also want to hear about our 30-day return policy. These are the kind of pluses you expect from Alabama's oldest family-owned Chrysler dealer. We're in Florence, Thornton Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
For discounts up to 40% on auto insurance, see Marshall England in Huntsville.
It's time for T.W. Starr, named Best Sports Anchor by the Associated Press. With your WAAY 31 Sports.
Hi, everybody. Our award-winning Friday Night Football show makes its debut this week. It's going to be another great season with all the scores, all the highlights, and all the fun. Plenty of great games on tap. This just a few of the contests going on. Week 1, Huntsville and Decatur get together in the River City. Brooks travels to Madison Academy, and North Jackson opens up with Buckhorn. Columbia High School, the newest 4A school in Huntsville, will open up its first football season against Hackleburg High School. WAAY 31's Hugh Keaton has more from the new kids on the block.
The Columbia Eagles are starting from scratch. Friday's contest in Hackleburg will be the first game in school history.
We first have got to develop some kind of a oneness and chemistry about us. We're very fractured and splintered. We have a lot of people that have come to us from different parts of the country, as well as some of the other schools in the city. So I'm interested in seeing how we're going to respond together as a team, and it's been quite a challenge.
We've got people from all over, you know, from different states and stuff that have moved down here. I mean, it's going to be a real big challenge for us to get together this year.
Frank Horton transferred from Butler, and he's glad to have a fresh start at Columbia.
I wanted to start a new beginning, you know, because we had ups and downs at Butler. I just thought this would be a new first beginning over at Columbia as a new school.
Columbia faces great challenges in their first year of football, but they've also created challenges for other schools in Huntsville who've lost players to the first-year program.
There's always going to be some friction. I know if I was Coach Sanders at Butler and I had lost a Josh Macklin, a Cash Macklin, and a Frank Horton, and maybe even some others to the rezoning of the two schools, I wouldn't be a happy camper. And I can understand that there might be some friction, but all I can do is worry about Columbia football.
Columbia will compete as a 4A school this season. In Huntsville, Hugh Keaton, WAAY 31 Sports.
All right, thank you very much, Hugh. If you were hoping to buy Alabama football tickets at face value for one of the Tide's home games in 2006, you now have one game to choose from. Louisiana Monroe on September 16th. About 1,000 ducats left for that blowout. All other home games are sold out as of today, according to the Tide Athletic Office, with the completion of the north end zone.